In this video, I'd like to talk to you about warm-ups for ring entries and warm-ups that take place prior to a training session. I don't know whether you've ever noticed, but if you've watched the top competitors, each of them usually has a particular way that they warm their dogs up. They usually have certain specific exercises. Often these are related to problems the dog might have in the ring, anticipating these problems. More often, they've developed it into a particular routine. In my case, my routine was initially developed after watching some exercises or behaviors that Sandy Ladwig used at one of her seminars. In my case, I initially do some stretch exercises that Petra Ford was kind enough to show me, and then I follow this up with a series of spins off the left and the right, and then what I call a tuck behind. To show you this without a dog, it looks something like this. I set the dog up right in front of me, and then I take a treat and I spin him off my left side counterclockwise. I then repeat this same process off the right side, only it's clockwise off the right side. After doing that, I take, and with the dog sitting in front, lure him around and behind my leg with the treat, and then steer his head as I turn. And by steering his head, I mean this. I hold a treat in my left hand if I'm working the left side. This is the dog's head. I hold the treat like this to the left side of the dog's muzzle, and I turn his head in this manner as I turn. And what that does is it makes the dog, or has the dog, move its rear end to our right. So head goes to the left, rear end goes to the right. It's like steering a motorboat, where if you're sitting at the back, you turn to the left, you go to the right, and so on. Well, I repeat that same sort of thing off of the right side, only in this case, imagine this is the dog's head. I take and I've spun him clockwise. I then hold the treat to the outside of the muzzle, and the dog's head turns in this manner, and the rear end goes to the left. Why do I do this? Well, it's a precursor. It's a precursor to the behavior that I get in side passing. Also, these spins are precursors to a finish off the left side, or an around finish off the right side. In addition, these behaviors or these movements are precursors to left turns. They're precursors to right turns. And so it goes. So, back, hip, get it. Now, to demonstrate that with Dash, in this case, I'm going to set him up in front. I'm going to do a spin off the left. I'm going to do a spin off the right. Then I'm going to take a treat and pull it behind my left or right leg, and I'm going to side pass and see if I can get him to side pass, and I will steer the rear end of his body by where I hold the treat on the muzzle, and whether I'm turning his head to the left or to the right. To demonstrate that, front. So, sit. He's all ready. We'll take him off the right side first. Yes, good guy. Front. Now I'm going to side pass with him. But that's side pass in the spot, on the spot. It's very similar to the sort of behavior that you get in rear end movement or rear end awareness exercises using a pot for the front feet. On the right side, front, So just to do that again, front, come on. To do that again, I'm walking around either the left foot or on the right side I'm walking around my right foot. Watch carefully as the right or left foot will not move in each instance. Stay on the spot, as you can see, front. And off the right side, the right foot stays still. Front. Sit. Now, to take that a step farther, I'm going to show you how I then, after doing this in one place, move that along to the next step, which is doing side passing. Like so. And we'll do it back the other way, front. 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 This then develops farther by, instead of holding the treat directly behind the knee, and you need to get right behind. One thing about this particular point in the exercises is that the dog has to get well back on the initial movement of your arm so that he will swing his body in behind, like so, and then bring him up. After I get that to the point where I'm confident that he will be able to do it, I start moving my treat forward to about this position, no, stay, or the same position on the left side. And that way, I'm bringing my dog slowly up to heel position in doing the side passing in either direction. Up, and to show you that from the rear, come on, get away. Holding the treat at my side, he's moving forward and across. Now then, if I take it the other way, and let you see this from behind, like so. Warming up in this manner covers off a number of bases that I'm always a little bit concerned about when I'm doing competitions, when I'm traveling. First of all, as I said, the circles act as precursors to the dog getting around in either direction. In other words, the around finish or the swing finish. Secondly, the tuck behind the left leg and turning on the spot really gets the dog to work his rear end to the right and gives you a very nice, smart left turn. And again, spinning on the right gets the dog to come around nicely on about turns. These are all very, very important steps in the process of warming up and getting ready for the ring. Using the side passing and the spins off the left, spins off the right has an advantage also in that the dog is starting to learn how to use its rear end. In other words, rear end awareness. Also, if I can do this with my dog, it is a precursor to backing up. So, side to side before backing up, then backing up. I like to think that I have a dog that can move in 4 directions and maintain his position to me. In other words, he can back up in a straight line, he can move side to side, and you've seen that with the rods on side passing, and he can come forward. A dog that can do that has very little problem in banging the front foot. An additional advantage to using this is that you can use it right, very close to the ring. I was going to say right outside, but not quite. However, you can do your warm-up a short distance from the ring, You can do your circles, you can do your side passing, you can make sure that you have left turns, right turns solid, that the right turns are nice and tight. A dog that spins in a right circle like that has very little difficulty with a tight right turn. Similarly, a left turn where the dog halts its forward movement, moves his rear end over to the right in order to get into position for the left turn. These are all advantages, and they can be done close to the ring. It beats carrying a pot around or anything like that. You don't have to have a pot to put the dog's front feet on. All you have to do is simply spin them off the left, for example, tuck behind the left, and turn. And now I'd like to show you a couple of additional uses for the long rectangle and the offset edge that I demonstrated in the last video. In this case, I'm going to show the dumbbell slightly off center, and you'll see how in returning with the dumbbell, Dash will move over to line up with the long rectangle and come straight up and sit in this smaller rectangle, his sitting spot that is directly in front of you. Sit. Take it. Give. Time to demonstrate that one more time. Little farther off. Stay. Take it. See him come across and then take up his position in his sitting spot. Heel. Heel. Get it. So this is Jet, Dash's younger brother. Also, his dad was Zoo. Stay. Take it. Good. Stay. Take it. Stay. Take it. Good. Good boy. Okay, so what that does is when the dog makes the pickup and then learns to move across toward you, but out at 8 or 10 feet away, it gives you an advantage. Gives you a definite advantage on the front. Sit. And now I'd like to show you one additional way that the offset edge can be used, and that is if you're training change of positions. Here, come here. In working the change of positions, I use one end of the long rectangle. It prevents the dog from moving forward, and the lateral guides keep the dog straight on the down or the stand and the different changes of position. So we'll start this one just to demonstrate with a stand. Stay. A nice fold back and directly between the two rocks, the two long lengths of PVC. And so that's how it can be used as a guide for teaching the change of positions. It works extremely well and much better than a platform does, because with a platform, a dog's liable to get one leg off the platform and you have to go forward and you have to change the position of the leg and so on. So that's basically it for this session. I hope you've enjoyed watching how the tuck behind, to spin off the side and spin off the right side, tuck behind the legs, side movement, lateral movement will help your dog get ready to enter the ring and perform the behaviors that you want him to. All of these are directly, these circles are directly related to areas where in the ring you want to have accuracy.